Hi everyone. In this vlog, we are going to discuss what are the most important parts of an interview when you're actually applying to a certain university to study abroad. There are usually two kinds of questions. Number one, the tricky questions, and number two, the factual questions. It could be in a different order, but it usually starts with factual questions. So they start with introduction. In your introduction, you can talk about things in two ways. Number one, you can start with your school and then college and your job, or in the reverse order. You can start with your job first, your graduation, and your school. We usually recommend, of course, it depends on you how you actually want to follow and pursue, but we usually recommend the second process wherein you talk about the things that you're doing presently. Question number two, why this school? So the question is obvious. Why are you actually applying to this university? Let's say XYZ University in France or Germany. So always talk about the value of the school. Remember the accreditations, rankings, campus, faculty, maybe a couple of famous alumni who are making an impact in the real world. So talk about things which are the right reasons to identify why you have selected this school. Number three, why this program? There's finance, marketing, HR, operations, sales, analytics, hundreds and thousands of programs right there. But why are you applying to, let's say, a certain program? If I want to study analytics, I should be very, very clear in my mind why I want to study analytics, especially at this school. So always be prepared for this question. Number four, why this country? As per United Nations, there are around 200 countries globally. Of course, there are like 6 or 7 very famous student destinations. But why did you actually choose to apply in, let's say, France or Germany or UK? So always find the right reasons. Talk about the economy, talk about the policies, talk about the education system, or talk about jobs, talk about international perspective of that country, talk about anything, but always be very, very prepared for this question. And then comes the time for the second part. The tricky part and the most important part of your interview. Until now, we have already spoken about the school, the program, the country, but now it talks more about your personality. Have you had any achievements? Have you had any failures? Did those achievements or failures alter your life, change you as a personality or as a human being? What impact they have had in your life? What are your goals? How are you going to achieve them? So you need to identify the right answers, right solutions. You need to find the dots and connect them, as Steve Jobs said. But be very, very prepared about these questions. There could be questions related to, let's say, what do you think is the biggest problem in your job? Now, there might be people who have lots of problems in their job, but you cannot talk about them blatantly. There could be people who love their jobs or love their companies, but then the question identifies why are they actually looking forward to leaving that job and moving ahead in life. So you need to be prepared for these kind of tricky questions as well. One final tip. Always remember, when you're applying to a foreign university, the interviews are usually not face-to-face. They are going to be either pre-recorded on a software or on Skype. Very rarely they are on telephone. So if it's on Skype or pre-recorded, people are going to see you. So you need to be, first of all, clean and tidy. It depends whether you want to shave or keep a beard like me, but wear good dress. For guys, you can wear a formal shirt. Tie is not mandatory, but if it goes with your personality, let's say if you're working in finance or consulting, go with a tie. If you're working in marketing, advertising, or branding, probably you can go in a shirt as well, but a good looking shirt. For women candidates, you can probably wear a suit, a dress, or probably a blazer, but anything that keeps you looking formal in the interview and goes with your personality, as I said, with the examples. Number two, have a good battery backup on your laptop. I remember lots of cases in my consulting background where people would actually take interviews with, let's say, 10% of battery. And once interview is interrupted because of these kind of problems, let's say the internet is not working, the Wi-Fi just tripped off, or probably your battery went off, interviews might have had, they might have adverse effects on your result. So always remember, take care of your internet, take care of your battery, and take care of yourself. Always keep smiling. And one final tip as well. If you're going to a French university, probably use a couple of French words. Even if you don't speak the language, try to tell them, because if a foreigner comes to India and talks in English, it's absolutely fine. But when they say namaste, you probably feel good. So talk about a couple of words, use a couple of the local language words in an interview. If you're going to a German school, talk about a few German words that has a longer impact in your interview. So I wish you all the best. I think we have provided you all the information that you're actually looking forward to. If you want complete assistance or probably detailed information, log on to advisory.in/blog and read everything in details. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.